And gentlemen, welcome back. We have Justin Penaflor in the studio. He is the owner-operator of Sauk Valley Jiu-Jitsu. He is a first-degree Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, correct?
Yes.
Right? 11-time Chicago Open champion and with over 100 submissions in competition. That's quite the intro.
Yeah, I think the 100 submissions, probably my best one. Just being submission-oriented, not really relying on winning on points is, I think, the big thing in jiu-jitsu.
Well, like I said, I appreciate you coming in, dude, because what have we known each other for a couple years now?
Yeah.
Being the owner-operator of Sauk Valley Jiu-Jitsu, which we're going to get into, I think the origin story is incredibly intriguing, right? And then for someone who's dedicated or seems to have dedicated most of his life or most of his time to the sport, as a hobbyist, right?
Yeah.
As a hobbyist myself, I just have tons of questions, right? I think you guys have a fantastic gym in Sterling, Illinois. I enjoyed my time there, and so yeah, man, I just wanted to pick your brain.
Oh yeah, man, fire away.
Yeah.
Fire away.
So your origin story: born and raised in Sterling, Illinois.
Yes.
Right, and then at what age did you become interested, or what? Like, how did jiu-jitsu find you, or vice versa?
There was a MMA gym here in Sterling, Illinois. It was called Combat Zone. They did a couple MMA events called Combat in the Cage, which my brother fought in the last one. He was really big into training Muay Thai and doing jiu-jitsu, and I wrestled back in middle school, so I have some familiarity with grappling. He was just like, hey, man, you should try this with me, and I was trying to be like a pro video gamer, so I was like, man, I'm not interested in that, dude. That doesn't seem like my thing. And he just kept kind of bugging me, you know, and I was like, you know what? I'll give it a try. You know, it sounds like a fun thing to do. And I got we got released for spring break early, sometime in March. I remember it was in March because I got released from spring break. It was like a week earlier than I told him that I was going to try it out. And I called him and I was like, hey, where you at? And he's like, I'm on my way to go to class. I was like, well, you know what? I got out of spring break early. You know, I'll go with you. Wait for me and I'll go with you. He's like, all right. So it was me, him, and actually our buddy Justin Wetzel, who's actually, he took second place actually in the, I think it was PFL's $1 Million Grand Prix. He took second place. So came up a little short, but, you know, he's doing fantastic. But it was just him, my brother, and me. I used to wrestle with Wetzel back in middle school. I used to beat him. So I was like, this ain't gonna be no thing.
Yeah, how hard could it be?
And man, they just put it on me. They whooped my ass. I was just blown away about when they choked me, and I know I tapped out and they let go of me. I just couldn't get away from the fact like how easy it was that they could have just killed me. Like if they didn't let go, they could have just killed me. And there was physically nothing I can do. And people were like, oh well, I'll gouge your eyes and I'll do this. They'll just squeeze harder.
Yeah,
and I was just, that's what caught my attention. I was like, this is like real shit. I was like, you know, like not to like to this on the other martial arts, but like when you see Hapkido or you see like, you know, the guy does like a fucking flip after he does the Kung Fu arm. I'm like, man, that looks a little unrealistic. That felt 100% realistic. There was no denying the feeling. So I was hooked instantly.
It's so crazy because when someone imposes their will on you like that,
yeah,
and there's nothing that you can do about it,
you're just helpless.
And it's like I cannot believe there are humans out there running around that if they wanted to,
yes,
could just fold me up like an 8th grade love note. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? And so that was what was, you know, like, okay, I need to know this.
Yes, that was like I need to know it.
Yeah.
You
know, it's how many people, you know, I would say that's probably a lot of people that it puts their hooks into right away.
Yeah.
Like almost instantly addicted to it.
Yeah. For me, it was like, you know, I got, you know, I gained 30 pounds of muscle since I started grappling, and I was 21 years old. I was weighing 118 pounds. So, I mean, I gained 30, 40 pounds of muscle because of it. You know, yeah, my life's changed. I'm, you know, this and that. But all that meant nothing to me more than just the knowledge of protecting yourself. I was like, man, I have to know it for these reasons. I can't just let someone climb up me like a pole and then choke me. I'm like, no, fuck that. That's not going to happen.
Yeah, it's a humbling experience.
It is.
Every time, every practice is humbling. Well, how old were you when you started? You said you were on spring break?
Yeah, I think I was either think I was 20 or 21. I think I was 21 actually. I think I was 21.
And you said you were in the medical field, or you were going to school to.
Yep, I just completed the CNA program at Sauk, and I think I was finishing one English class, and then I was doing a bio class. I think it was like bio 105 or some stuff, or 108. It was the last bio class I needed to take, and yeah, that never happened. I just decided to do jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, and talk me through that process. Like that had to be. I mean, that couldn't have been an overnight decision.
It almost damn near was. I have a very like addictive personality. So once I find something that I really like to do, I kind of just run away with it and just kind of keep going forward, disregarding what everybody else says about it.
Sure.
Could be good and bad, but I just knew that, like while I was still young, I wanted to, try to train as much as I could. And I heard about these tournaments in Chicago, and I competed at a couple of them. And then I heard about there was like tournaments in like California and like New York. And I was like, man, I want to do that, So like dropping out the school, working full time as a CNA, and then just training when I got off work was like, I was like, yeah, that's the ideal situation. That's a scenario to set up success. So that's what I decided to do. And it wasn't shortly after that, probably about like a year and a half, 2 years in, I got a full sponsorship deal. They essentially didn't really pay all my bills, but they paid in to help me travel. So I was like, well, hey, my job pretty much did that, and then, fed me, I'll make it. I'll make it by. So quit being a CNA and just went full steam ahead jiu-jitsu.
And how much were you traveling? Like initially, like I'm sure it kind of ramped up, but how much, you seem to have traveled around quite a bit.
Yeah, man. So between like 2014 and 16, I was traveling at least up to Chicago, if not Chicago to go to an airport, at least once every other weekend. There was one weekend in February, and I think it was 2014. I went to, I competed in Atlanta, and then I competed in Chicago. And then the following weekend, I competed in Houston. And then the following weekend, I competed in, I think it was San Francisco.
That's racking up the miles,
yeah,
dude.
So like I was traveling like a lot, like back-to-back weekend, like, 4 weekends in a row I was in the airport almost. So just full steam ahead with it, never looking back at it.
Now, what did that sponsorship entail? Like I said, like you don't have to, I'm not necessarily into like the gritty details, but like, did you have a support team? Was it purely monetary? Like what was the supporting structure like for that sponsorship?
It was pretty, I would say like standard basic. They didn't do like, like some of the big BJJ black belt athletes right now, they're getting like a high dime value to like be on the sponsorship team, which pretty much covers their like day-to-day expenses. And then the sponsors are also entitled, or like, they also pay for the travel of the athlete, free gear, things like that. Sure. I got the free gear, so I got like a couple gis. They didn't do any no-gi gear, so I was kind of wearing my own. But they pretty much just helped pay for some of the flights and the, they went like 50-50 on flights and hotel. And then they paid for registration in the tournaments. And then did they like provide, like, did you fall into a coach or did you have to self-coach? Or so like normally, yeah, like most BJJ coaches go on their own dimes to go and coach. That's one thing that people don't really kind of understand. Like I kind of understood, like our instructor when I first started, he never came with me to these things, like even to tournaments in his own backyard. I always took it as like, oh yeah, he has to pay himself, so like I'm not trying to ask him to spend his own money. But after seeing all the instructors who do that, right, it paints a different picture. So I always went into tournaments with just me, or it was my one of my good friends, Steven, my cousin Tony, or my brother Josh. Sometimes it would just be my wife, or a couple of guys from the Chicago team that we were teammates with. But I would say a good majority of the time, though, it was just me in the corner. And how long had you been practicing? Like what belt how long had you been doing jiu-jitsu when you did your first competition? Actually, I did my first ever competition with 2 weeks of training. Holy fuck. Yeah. So my brother and my cousin were already signed up for a competition. Or maybe I was like I was only like 2-3 weeks in. because I had no knowledge. I think I went to my match. I lost by, I want to say either 2 points or I lost like a ref decision. It was pretty much just like a wrestling match. The kid didn't know, I think, a lot of grappling. He was kind of a wrestler, and all I really knew was wrestling, so we kind of just wrestled. Yeah, that was my first ever tournament. I don't know too much. I remember just not really being anything with jiu-jitsu yet. I was just like, they're doing it, so I'm doing it.
Yeah,
you know?
2 weeks, dude, right? It's like, do you even know how to tie your belt yet?
I don't even think we did gi yet. I think we were only doing no gi at the time.
No shit.
Yeah, so it was when we started doing gi, we started going up to the Quad Cities. We kind of stopped training at the combat zone and started going to the Quad Cities. One of my friends that we were training with that would come into the combat zone, his name was Ruben Moreno. He trained gi jiu-jitsu over at Tarpin's dojo over in the Quad Cities. Mm-hmm. And it was like the only like legit where a guy taught jiu-jitsu in a mat space that wasn't like just MMA jiu-jitsu, you know? So I was like, all right, well, yeah, let's do that. We should do that. So then we started driving up to Quad Cities 4 or 5 times a week to go train jiu-jitsu up there. And it was probably about 3 months of training up there. So I'd probably been no longer than training for 4 months that I was like, let's go do another competition. Mm-hmm. Did another competition. I double golded, submitted 3 of the 4. And at that moment, I was like, yeah, this we should just keep doing this. We should just keep doing this. We should just keep training jiu-jitsu and competing.
That's fucking badass.
Fuck having like college degrees, dude. Like, this is better.
Well, and for the audience sake, educate the audience on the difference between gi and no gi.
So gi jiu-jitsu is kind of like your standard, like what you would see like karate or like taekwondo people wear. It's an outfit that kind of goes over like a cloth material. Some places like in like Japan and stuff, they call it a kimono. Mm-hmm. Essentially, the only difference is that you can like grab the kimono, you can use it to choke your opponent, to throw him, kind of whatever you need to do with it. No gi is more of what you would see in like MMA. It's more of like the Under Armour shirt, shorts, and you can't grab the material. You're just using like underhooks, collar ties, more freestyle, folk style kind of like grips. So no gi is a better transverse over where wrestlers who are coming into the scene of jiu-jitsu, they're like, hey, it looks more like my style. It pretty much is. But.
Sure. And there's always, and you're obviously more versed in it than I am. There is kind of a gi versus no gi culture.
Oh God,
right?
Yes. Oh God, yes.
And what's your thoughts on that? Like, because I know it can be like a touchy subject, like, and to each their own.
Yeah. So I'm a very big like troll at my gym. I will sit there and walk around and talk shit about the gi all day, and I'll just be like, yeah, no gi, the real jiu-jitsu.
Right.
And it's not really that at all. No gi jiu-jitsu is just picking up better steam when it comes to people who don't do jiu-jitsu. It looks more appealing to them. It's more exciting. Gi jiu-jitsu can look very boring to the people who don't do jiu-jitsu, especially when you see the grip fighting and like when people watch judo on the Olympics, they're not watching judo on the Olympics to watch the grip fight and the setup. They're just waiting for the big throw to happen. So they can be like, whoa, kind of same concept. Where in no gi, a lot of that big takedown exchange happens faster because there's like grip fighting to win, but there's no grip exchange like there is in gi. Like if you grab my collar, I can't just break that grip, but I can grab your sleeve now. So that's a grip exchange. So it kind of works in a different manner. But I like both of them. We train gi and no gi equally at my gym. I personally think if you want to be good at no gi, like if you want to just be like world class at no gi, just train gi.
Really?
If you train gi and you learn how to essentially grapple in a more strategical set, it makes no gi easy. So like we revert no gi is like, it has technique, but it comes down sometimes on how more athletic the guy can be. Where in gi, yes, if you're athletic, it's gonna fucking help you tremendously. But there's a lot more grips and guards and things you can do in gi that can slow the athletic guy down. In no gi, there's not a lot of those options. So we kind of reverted to like, no gi is checkers, gi is chess.
Okay, yep, that makes sense.
Someone who can play checkers can go play, or chess, I'm sorry, can go play checkers. They might not be like the best and like knowing all the high strategies checker players are using, but they get the concept. A guy that's playing checkers, I can almost guarantee he's probably not going to even get one pawn off the board against a chess player playing their game. And that's just because it's a different strategical level. And so the base concept's the same, but the way they position and play it is a lot different. So I think if you go more for the intelligent approach of it and then revert back to square peg, round hole,
sure,
you'd be a little bit more understanding of when to switch around those shapes. So.
Sure. And so, and there's also kind of and again, correct me if I'm wrong, like, and every gym has its own flavor, right? Is it a competition gym? Is it like a self-defense gym?
Right.
Like what is, so in your opinion, if someone's looking for anyone that's out there that's curious, like they've always wondered about jiu-jitsu, it's, they've surfed it on the internet, they just haven't walked into a gym yet. If they're looking for the purely self-defense aspect of it, right? Which is got to be one of the reasons other than physical fitness that most people walk in anyways, right? Doesn't matter what martial art it is, right? Is self-defense. I want to be able to defend myself. Would you recommend gi or no gi, or are they equal across the board?
I would say equal across the board. So I am a very big person of like, in a sense of self-defense, like if you want to learn how to self-defense, like we both know, like if you want to learn how to defend yourself, it's not through a 3-hour seminar that you do one time and you don't ever practice those techniques again. And, now you're going to be able to use those. You practice those techniques in a 3-hour seminar against people who are not actively trying to attack you. They're just dummies. They're lifeless dummies, So you're basing your confidence on that, where if you just join jiu-jitsu, whether it's just a competition jiu-jitsu, sport jiu-jitsu, do something that's teaching real jiu-jitsu, technique, concepts behind the techniques, and you can be the decider of what you would use in a self-defense manner to protect yourself. Yep. It's kind of like if we did MMA or we did Muay Thai, and I was defending myself from someone. Do I need to high kick him in the face, or can I just like kick him in the chest and like teep him backwards and kind of make space? Yeah, no, I can do either or. It's I can do whatever I want. But like, do you need to kick him in the head, or could you just push him away with a front kick? And it's things like that. Like you can make the decision on what you think would be best. Like if I got in a self-defense aspect, I probably would not try to choke or like joint lock anybody. I would probably just take you down, mount you, and hold you down. Make you look like a giant, 40-year-old tantrum baby. And then when you relax and calm down, I'll let you up. But I don't see the need of actually hitting them or choking them, Now, if it comes to it, I guess it comes to it. But, I think just doing jiu-jitsu itself, even just for the sport aspect, in about 2-3 years of training, you should be easily be able to handle yourself on the street.
It gives you that, most people, it gives you that quiet confidence that you can determine the outcome.
Yes.
Or at least at a high percentage of probability, right? Like you're never in fear of being out of control.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And probably most people, and the old saying, and it's cliche to say, anybody that's good at the violence is the last person that wants any violence, right?
Right.
But yeah, having that ability to never feel out of control in a physical altercation is that sense of calm is invaluable.
Yeah.
Right?
It's unbuyable too. The only way to do that is, through reps, constant training. One of the biggest things you hear in jiu-jitsu right now is like everyone's taking the ecological approach, which is basically instead of coming to class or even in typical jiu-jitsu classes, we warm up, we do technique, and then we do sparring, where they don't teach technique. They just go, okay, we're going to start on the mount. I'm mounting you. Your job is to get one of my legs in between your legs,
like baby bites.
Like if you're doing like your drag back or your 3/4 mount. And then my job is just to keep you from doing that. So we do that back and forth. If you get my leg, I switch top and bottom. I get your leg, we switch. And it's to teach you the scenario training of like, if you're on top, you shouldn't just let me grab your leg. You should be figuring out what to do to stop that. So instead of going through the techniques of, he pushes here, you do this, and he pushes there, you do that, like you just go through the reps of it. I see the really, 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 really high pros in it. You know, it's very active. It's fun. People on the street can just come in and like kind of like get right into it, run the scenario of what it would feel like being in that scenario, and they get a better taste of like the reality of it. On the con side though, it's very overwhelming for brand new people who don't, like you tell them, okay, we're going to start in mount. They don't even know what mount is.
Right.
So like, I think there is a basic standard that, you know, white belts need to know these things and beginners need to know certain positions. But the scenario training aspect of it, of going through the same scenario multiple times for like 5 minutes, perfect.
Yeah, and you obviously have to take into, there's so many different, each student is kind of different, right? Like I can remember, like I'll speak for myself, like there's kind of two sides to me. Hey, I'm in here because you're an expert. I'll do whatever you tell me to do.
Right.
The other side of me is, but I still want to know why I'm doing what I'm doing.
Yes, exactly.
Right? You know what I mean? And I think that kind of satisfies both.
The concept is what protects you. You know, it's not that you know something, it's why you know something. You know, it's you understand what you're saying or what you know. So when you know that, that's the different confidence belief, you know. Knowing and believing in yourself is greater than someone telling you that something's going to work. Now, don't get me wrong. Someone like believing in you is what you need so you can believe in yourself. But once you believe in yourself and you believe in what you know, I mean, that's why people are champions in whatever sport or whatever they choose to do in life, you know, because they believe.
Yeah.
You know, they really believe. So
it's the fact that you went to a competition with 2 weeks of training, dude, that's insane. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I've never been afraid to like lose in anything. I knew just even trying to be a pro video gamer that if there was like teams you could like, they would be posting on the forums like, hey, we're looking for a team to scrim. And they'd be way out of our league. And I'd see nobody like post to like want to scrim them. I'd be like, hey, we'll scrim you guys. And like, you know, we go into a scrim lobby, a best of 5 games, and they would mop us up 3-0 in like probably 15 minutes. You know, and then we would be like, well, I mean, if you guys don't have another block, you know, if you guys don't got anyone else, you know, we'll go again. And they'd be like, all right, they play a couple more. And I understand we're not really giving them any value. They're just working on strategies that they think would work. And they're, you know, testing it out. But for us, it was everything.
Sure.
You know, we got exposure to like so many high level people because nobody else wanted to play them because they were nervous or they didn't want to reveal strats to them. We were like, shit, we got nothing really to give you, but like, we'll take everything you want to give us. So for me, that's what competition does. Like, you go out there, you do the best you can, because what you can do is what's going to give them the tool to be better. And if his tool is already better than you, I mean, what he does and how he performs against you and beats you is going to be your tool to become better than him.
It speaks incredibly to the lack of ego, right?
Yes.
And you said something once that it resonated, and it had to do with my son when my son was first at your gym. And you came out to the truck. I don't even know if you remember this, but you know, Briggs he's tall. You know, he's tall for his age, and he had been in the beginners class. You know what I mean, for a couple months, right? However long. And you came out to the truck, and you're like, "Hey, man, I want to move him up to the advanced class because right now he's the hammer and he needs to be the nail."
Yes.
You know, and I knew exactly what you were saying. You know, I was like, "Yep," because if you're just out there tuning everybody up. You know what I'm saying? And you're not getting, you know, it's at least not even Steven.
Yes.
You know, how much do you learn? Like, I learned so much more by getting tuned up than I do by winning. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yes.
And so, yeah, you put him into the advanced class where he was getting tuned up a little bit, and it was evident. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was the right call. It was a smart call.
I think it's important to, you know, constantly push that person to be better. Like, again, it goes back in like that book I was reading, that if you're not trying to train and push your student in the ways that they need to be pushed or into the goals that they want to be trying to accomplish. That's why they started jiu-jitsu. It's like you're not doing your job as an instructor. So like for kids, the best thing we can do as instructors is consistently push them out of their comfort zone. So by the time they're 18, they can walk into a new room every day, but they're not going to ever feel like they can't do it. They're going to feel that, hey, you know, I'm going to just give it the best try I can give, you know, because I'm always out my element, you know, like my parents pushed me out of my element. They never let me be comfy like that. Oh, I don't want to go wake up this morning because, you know, it's so cold out there and I'm so warm under my blanket. Like the minute I tell myself that, because I'm human, I do that.
Sure.
I throw those blankets right off me, and I will lay there. And I'm like, you're going to sit in this cold until you decide to get up and get dressed because you're not going to be comfortable.
Yeah.
You're not. The minute you get comfortable, you get stagnant, and then you get old.
Yeah, it is that because that inner bitch, man, that inner bitch is strong.
It is.
You know what I'm saying?
It's man.
So strong, dude. Like, I still to this day, like, and we were talking about it out in the lobby, like, because I'm inconsistent, like, I don't dread going in there. I dread what it's gonna feel like.
Oh God, yeah, that feeling during it. Yes.
I'm like, God damn, I know this is gonna suck so bad. It's gonna suck. You know what I mean? Like, but I'm gonna feel worse if I don't go.
Yes. Yes.
Which is, the constant struggle.
Yes.
You always feel so good when you get out of there, when you walk out,
It's just I don't know, like that euphoria feeling. You
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
you've accomplished something.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
yeah.
And somebody asked me, one of my friends, she's like, well, why do you do it? And I was like, well, because it sucks. And not in a bad way, because it's hard.
Yes. Yes. Anything that's hard or, in a sense, sucks. Like, I feel like nobody's ever done anything that's like, oh, that sucked, but like didn't feel some gratification from it.
Sure.
It could be you went outside and, there's dog shit over the yard. You're gonna be like, oh, this sucks. I gotta go pick all this up. But you're gonna look back at that clean yard and go,
I'm glad I did that.
Look at my yard. I'm gonna go mow it now. I know everybody does that.
Yeah, it's during COVID, we were going every day during COVID, and it was at 5 a.m. You know what I'm saying? It's 5 a.m. and you're waking up at 4:30, and 30 minutes later you're getting the shit kicked out of you. And it's
nothing better.
Yeah,
that wakes you up real quick.
Yeah, no coffee needed. You know what I mean? None. Like nothing that's gonna wake you up like a rear naked choke. You know what I mean?
No, exactly.
Well, so we competition right off the bat. The hooks are in you. At what point are you like, I'm gonna open this? I'm gonna bring this to the area. I'm going to open Sauk Valley Jiu-Jitsu, and this is what I'm going to do.
Man, it would probably have been like my third year of Jiu-Jitsu. I remember I was coming home from Pan Am's, and I just won the Pan Am's.
And for the audience, not to cut you off, for the audience sake, kind of give an over the moon, once over the rainbow type of, like, what is the Pan Am's?
So the Pan Am's is part of a 4 major tournament system that the International Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Federation, also known as the IBJJF, they host. So there's 4 major ones. There's the Europeans, the Brazilian Nationals, the Pan Americans, and then the World Championship. They also do the gi and no gi versions of it. So I flew out to New York. I did the no gi pans. I did 5 matches, got gold. And I remember I was coming home that same day. And I remember looking at my medal and kind of thinking like, well, there was like a sense of like right away, like I didn't, I still got to like, get my purple belt, try to do it at purple belt, do it at brown belt, like every other belt. But for the time being, for like a split second, I kind of felt like, what do I do now? Like I knew I could win pans, and I just didn't think it would happen this quickly. I thought I got to take a couple cracks at it, build my name up. But here I am with a Pan Am title. I was like, what do I do now? Like,
I get it. Yeah.
Do I keep training hard? Do I keep doing this? And
kind of unexpected success.
Yeah. And
like,
I just was
what?
like, I guess, I'm going to keep training, keep doing this, but I had a couple people who are interested in doing like some lessons in the garage. So I was like, maybe I think I'm gonna open a gym. I had the idea already. Like maybe I should open up a gym in the future. But I think at that moment I was like, I'm the first Pan Am champion coming from out of my instructor's gym. Nobody in my area of Whiteside kind of has won anything like this in jiu-jitsu. I was like, I'm kind of the first. I was like, I could really use this as a marketing,
sure,
and
sure.
This could be my base for it. So that was like at the moment where I knew like, okay, I can use everything I'm using now as the tournament results and accomplishments to push forward my gym.
Who thought you were nuts?
Man, everybody I talked to. Yeah. I mean, my wife was very, very supportive of it. She runs full time with the academy right now for me. I mean, she works full time as a PT. And she does full-time jiu-jitsu. She helps with women's wrestling.
She's awesome.
She's fucking super woman, man.
Yep.
And then my brother obviously was like, okay, let's go. You know, he was all about it. You know, he don't got to try to travel to the Quad Cities anymore to train jiu-jitsu. My dad, he was all martial arts, so he loved it, you know. My mom was very against it. She did not like it. She was like, why did you pull out of school to do this shit? But, you know, mom always got to be that, you know, thinking what's best for her son.
Yeah, somebody's got to be. Somebody's got to be the devil's advocate.
Right.
So
Someone
speak,
has
right?
to be a little bit more realistic. You know, like I wouldn't have assumed that this many people in this area would want to train jiu-jitsu, and it's crazy the amount of messages I still get that people want to come train. That's awesome. I love it.
It is, dude. And you guys are crushing it, which is awesome. It's you said your dad was into martial arts?
Yeah, he did. Oh God, he's gonna kick my ass if I don't know. I think he did Taekwondo.
Okay.
Okay, now my brother's gonna kick my ass if I got this wrong. But that shows you how uninterested in martial arts I was. Like
That's
I
bananas.
didn't pay attention to a lot of like that shit that he talked about. My grandpa actually taught Taekwondo in Galt, Illinois. Ran his own academy and taught, and you know, so like I kind of followed in somewhat the family business.
No shit. But,
yeah.
But you like when you were growing up, he was active, and you were just like, I don't.
No, he wasn't active at the time. He quit when he suffered an accident working on the railroad. He kind of got grabbed by a weird hook. It ripped his kneecap actually right out of his leg.
Fuck.
Yeah. So that kind of crushed everything for him, his martial arts wise. But I remember hearing all the stories, and like I know he's kind of I got to try to get us into it, and I wasn't interested. So when Josh got into MMA and like fighting, he was like he loved it. I remember still just sitting there, like my brother would be sitting there in the room like, hey man, look at these combos, and I'd just be sitting there looking at him like,
Cool story, bro.
yeah, like okay, you're gonna slam your fist into another human being's face, and he's gonna do the same thing to you, but not with his elbow. He's showing me some Muay Thai shit, and I was like, okay, yeah, that's a real good idea, bud. But you know, jiu-jitsu again, it was like that. It was so real. Like, don't get me wrong, getting punched in the face is real. That's real shit.
100%.
You know? But like when someone's punching you, they're like angry and like you can see it in their demeanor, in their body. But when I was getting choked, I mean, these motherfuckers were talking about nirvana.
Yeah, it's just
Not like with 9-inch nails and shit, and they're beating my ass. I'm like,
Singing
dude,
a lullaby.
I'm like, what are you like?
Yeah.
This is crazy. It was so therapeutic for them. So I was like, man, I got, you know, that's what I need to be. So yeah, when I told my dad about it, I was like, you know, I'm on jiu-jitsu, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna open a gym. Fuck, man, he was like, yes, my sons.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
dude.
he knew that, like, you know, if he didn't know we were his, he knew then. You know?
Yeah, for sure. And it is such and it's so counterintuitive because you're getting choked out, you're getting armbarred, you're getting whatever, you know, there's a fair amount of physical discomfort, but at the same time, it's cathartic.
Yes.
You know, once you kind of hit that flow state where, you know, your good training partner, and you're the farthest thing from angry.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I've never walked out of anything calmer.
And like, it's one of those things is like, don't get me wrong, like all the problems that you enter the gym with are there when you leave. You know, you see those memes online sometimes and like people in the comments are like, oh, well, they're still there. Like, yeah, they are still there. But for that time being, for that 1 second, you ain't worried about, you know, the fucking mortgage payment,
Right.
the property tax. Like, oh shit, I gotta go get milk after this. Fuck. Like, you ain't worried about that. You're worried about keeping this guy off my fucking neck, you know, and please don't beat my ass.
Yeah.
That's what you're worried about. And like having that escape for 30, 45 an hour, man, that's the shit that's like, you can't buy that.
Yeah, priceless.
You know?
Yeah, 100%, dude. It's priceless. And, you know, it's so meditative. You know what I mean? Like, and especially when you're good, which I am not. You know what I mean?
Neither am I.
Yeah. You know, it's just, you are so singular focused.
Yeah.
Right? Like you said, there's if somebody's crawling up your back, it's real hard to think about anything else.
It's so hard. Yeah, so hard.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know any other workout. I mean, I've been on stair climbers. I'm pushing sleds. I've done, you know, squats, snatches, lunges, all that. Man, I'm still, oh man, I got to do this today.
You're still thinking about other shit.
Your life creeps in. But when you're doing something like that, man, I am, like, even as as long as I've been training, the 13 years, and I train with someone who's been training for 3, I'm still thinking about, it may be the good instructor, I'm trying to like, what can I do to help this person? And like, I'm trying to make it where he's not thinking about anything else, but trying to survive and like what he should be doing against me and like what the mistake they made. Like, that's what I'm trying to do. So, I mean, it's just no better workout, I think.
I would agree. Yeah, it's very unique. There's no, whether it's, and I've done Muay Thai, you know what I'm saying? I've done, like, I did martial arts when I was younger, like wrestling, jiu-jitsu, it's just different. It really is.
Different animal.
You're in a different kind of shape. You know what I'm saying? Like the levels are just insane, to be able to grapple for that long. You know? And what do you find is the most challenging aspect of being an instructor at the level that you are?
I would have to say trying to make sure I give my time out equally. Mm-hmm. There are some students who like genuinely just don't understand it like other students, so they need a little bit more time. But I am aware of that. Like, man, I just spent 5 minutes over here, but only a minute over there. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, oh man, like, Rick and Bobby already got this technique down. It's still, in a sense, not fair to them, So then I try to keep aware. Okay, well, I was really hands-on with these guys today. These guys didn't get a lot, so in sparring, I try to pick them to spar.
Sure.
And I'm trying to make sure I spar with everyone equally and give everyone their equal training. So it gets hard, like when I'm training, like I'll pick the people that I want to train with already by like how I'm, like when I'm teaching through the class, I'm walking around like, okay, I'm going to get one with them, one with them. And I'm doing it based on like, okay, today's just pushing my students and trying to work on their finishing mechanics. So like I'm going to let them put me in submissions and we're going to try to work through it and see if they can finish me. The next day I'm training with the purple belts and stuff where I'm like, okay, I'm going to push you guys, but I'm not going to try to submit you. Where Thursday night we do eco classes and it's all just scenario training. My cousin Tony runs that class, so I get to be a student for that time being. I'm just kicking everyone's ass that day. So that day, everyone's getting the whooping, but I think it's awesome that they can see the different layers of their coach. They can see when their coach is, this is my coach when he's more laid back and like he's helping me work, but it's like, oh man, you want coach at 100%? Thursday's the day you try to go get him because coach is going 100%.
Yeah, and it was abundantly clear, like, although I'm very inexperienced in jiu-jitsu, I'm fairly experienced in what I would say, like, the training realm or the coach to student ratio, right? And that was one thing when I first came into Sauk Valley Jiu-Jitsu that was abundantly clear. Like, it was very evident that you were doing exactly what you're articulating right now.
Right.
And, because I was coming in, like, anytime you walk into a gym for the first time, right, I don't have to tell you, like, you're assessing it.
Yes.
Like, is it open? Is it welcoming? Like, is this a gladiator academy? Does it have a potential to be a gladiator? Like, are they spacing? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, are they catering to all levels or, and all this, and to each their own, right? Like, It just depends on what you're looking for.
Exactly.
And it was abundantly clear that that was on the forefront of your mind, like trying to get everyone an equal touch, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I think it's really easy in a sense to throw some mats down, open up a spot and be like, hey, let's just spar every day, right?
Yeah, it's beat the shit out of each other.
It's really easy to step in a boxing ring, put some gloves on, and just start swinging at each other. It's really easy. You can do that every fucking day. You can do it for free in someone's garage. But to have that where the person's actually teaching the jiu-jitsu and, like I said, catering to like understanding, okay, I have beginner students today, so we need to do some beginner technique and, teaching the fundamentals of jiu-jitsu and things like that. That's what, get it each their own, But I just like teaching jiu-jitsu. So for me, I don't have like, if I have a student that wants to be a world champion, yeah, cool, I can help you do that. I have a couple students who are trying. I have students who are like, man, I'm just here for the workout. Yeah, me too, man. I just do jiu-jitsu every day so I can eat cheeseburgers at night. I'm like everybody else. But I also have people who are like, hey, man, I'm just here to just, shoot the shit and hang out, which is okay too.
Sure.
My biggest thing is just don't let your goals affect everyone around you. So
that's
like
fair.
If you have a partner who's, trying to train hard, don't yap their ear off. If you're not trying to train hard, just let them know. Like, hey man, I'm going light today. Because I've never had one student go, oh, pussy. You know, maybe if they're teasing each other,
Sure.
You know, but hey, you want to roll? And they're like, no, it's okay. Like, I'm good this one. Oh, okay. And they go to somebody else. Like, it's, you know, it's a balance with it, but you have to make it to all these people are able to join. You know, for me at least, you know, I'm not worried about like, I only have savages that train at my gym. Maybe back in the day, you know, but as I grew in the martial arts scene, it's just, you know, that's not what, one, doesn't pay your bills. And two, that's not what you want out of it. Cause I'm going to get to an age where I can't train like that.
Right.
So then if I created an atmosphere where I don't even belong,
sure.
What does it do? What is it all done for me then? You know? So.
Yeah, it's one of the scariest. Walking into a jiu-jitsu gym can be one of the scariest events ever.
Yeah.
And then you quickly realize that it's the most welcoming, laid back, chill. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. I think it's just when you come in, you see people choking each other and like cranking on each other's arm. People are like, "Oh my god, this is violent," but it's like, but it didn't hurt. It didn't hurt. Like when you go into, like when girls go into like women cardio kickboxing and stuff, and they like see other girls like, you know, if they're just hitting pads and moving, like that's a great workout. But when the girls are like hitting each other and stuff and like boxing and stuff, I'm like, how does that look like? Not like that looks like it's gonna hurt. Like to me, that looks almost more dangerous than jiu-jitsu, you know. But again, to each their own, you know. Like for me, people are always like, why don't you do MMA? Because I don't want to get punched in the face.
Yeah, it's a hard way to make a living.
Yeah, that's like, well, come on now. Like they used to say back in the day, you know, you got a jiu-jitsu black belt, punch him in the face. Now he's a brown belt.
Yeah, that's right.
Punch him again. I'm like, dude, you don't get me wrong. I think I do decent, but it's like, man, I am not. I like to grapple people when they're grappling. I don't want to grapple someone and he's trying to kick me in the face. Like,
no shit.
I am totally good on that. So for anyone out there, it's like, I'll beat this guy's ass. Like, I'm sure you would, because I would not punch you, because I just don't see the point of it.
Yo, I always say like, hey, winning or losing's got nothing to do with it. It's just not going to be free.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
It's not going to be free.
Exactly, for either person. Right. So it's like, fuck.
Yeah, even the ones I've won, I was still hurt afterwards.
Yeah, bro, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm good, bro.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm all set. You know what I mean? Well, so what is the goal, or where do you see Sauk Valley Jiu-Jitsu in 5 years, in 10 years?
Oh man, I hope to have, you know, a good, healthy student base. You know, I mean, everyone wishes for the most, but like I wish, you know, hope 200 students, big classes, multiple instructors. I think having a lot of different people on one team, all with the same goals of trying to help people be better, but all have different ways of doing it, is super important. You know, some people might not understand the way I teach, but they understand the way my brother teaches. And as long as they're understanding and retaining that knowledge, that's what's important to that. So, you know, making enough student base, making enough, like, you know, financial wise, where I can, you know, pay these guys to be here every day and, like, you know, teach classes. You know, they make something out of it, they get something out of it. And it's, you know, it's ran, it's still that family style, you know, business. You know?
I was going to say, you guys seem to be very, very involved with the community, which I think is awesome.
Yeah,
you know
man.
what I mean?
I don't want to get to a point where we're like, you know, like I don't ever see myself getting to a point where I had like 300 students and I'm making so and so money after paying my bills a month. Or like I'm in like fucking Cali for a month. Like, oh, you don't see coach is always gone doing something. Like, nah, like that's just not who I am. So, I strive to keep that, like, that family ran style. Like, we're very involved in everything we do with it, you know.
And the community seems to be very, very receptive.
Yeah, man. We really try our best when it comes to like doing the events and like doing things for the gym. Like, obviously, it all comes on the finance costs, like, you know.
Sure.
But I mean, like, halftime we do like even the parades. Like, you know, it's usually like the last parade. Like, we did not make enough student base wise to even buy candy and decorations and stuff. Like, thankfully, my wife, you know, saved decorations from the prior parade, and we had students donate bags of candy, but I still had to go out and buy candy and spend money that wasn't really there just so we could do it. But even then, like, it's totally fine. Like, I think for me, I'm always a big person. I'm like, I'll just keep going in debt in my credit card. They'll get my money when I die.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm totally fine. I'm totally fine. So, like, you know,
it's the process, not the end state.
Yeah, exactly. So I just want to show the community, like, hey, man, as long as like there's a fight, I'm gonna fight to be here, you know. And when there's no fight to be here because we're being super successful, I want my community to see that, like, he'll pay it back. So I always tell my students, I have, just a couple years ago, we got a big we got a couple sponsorships from local businesses in the area. And I put about $1,400 of my own money, $1,600 of my own money into the sponsorship as well. And I took about 12 or 14 students down to Florida to do the Pan Ams in the gi. So we drove down to Florida. We stayed in a big like B&B mansion kind of thing.
Nice,
you know, and we stayed out there for like probably like 6-7 days, and they did the Pan Ams. And I was going to do it. I unfortunately ripped my meniscus, a buckle handle tear, and then it flipped under and got stuck on, like, kind of lodged in my knee, so I couldn't straighten my leg all the way. So I was unfortunately out for that tournament, but I still went and like hung out, which was really, really fun. But I can't wait to make, like, that's like the first thing I'll do if I'm making finances, because I knew what traveling and doing jiu-jitsu did for me when I was in my young 20s as a blue belt, just doing it.
Sure.
I would love to give that opportunity to some of my students.
And you guys seem to be very, and once again, like I'm stalking you on social media, and when I was going to the gym on a regular basis before I started traveling again, like, you guys seem to be pretty active in the competitions.
Yeah, man. So like we kind of just, I tell the students, like, you don't have to compete, but like competing is the best way to know where you're at and what you should be working. Like what you learn in the competition, what you did wrong. You could be doing the same mistake for 3 months in the gym and you would never even know it. But when you make that mistake in competition, it sticks more. Like it's like sticks out like a sore thumb.
Sure.
So you're more willing to work it. So that's what I push the students for. And we've tried to kind of like only announce certain tournaments. So that way, like, we don't have a student competing this weekend and then one next weekend and one the following. It's like all of you just compete for this one.
Yeah, sure. So we can be there as a team
and one
as a
time,
right.
and like, but then we got to a point where like, hey man, if you're gaining the confidence to sign up for that one, and that's the one you want to do, I'll be there to coach you then.
Yeah,
if that's going to put you in the mat and make you step out your comfort zone, I'll be there with you. Now there've been a couple ones, obviously I haven't been able to make, car issues or like being sick or like,
life.
Yeah, but I always make it a thing to try to get someone there to help coach my students. My cousin Tony is a great man. If I can't make it and he has a day off, I mean, he was 100% always there. So like I'm blessed to have people like that, because I think we came from a background where our coach didn't go and coach us.
Which, too, like I said, like I'm not trying to talk shit on a. That seems strange to me.
It was, man, because like, again, I was like, okay, I don't want him to spend his own money or whatever. But then in 1 year, this dude, like, back when, this was like in 2015 maybe, back when like F-150s were just getting big and stuff, he bought like a brand new F-150, man, like that year, bought a brand new, like, oh, man, dude, it was an expensive house in the Quad Cities in Bettendorf. And then he bought his dad's academy, which was like $1 million academy. Like $1 million like lease and building and all that. So like in 1 year, he bought all that stuff. So then that got me like, oh, he making plenty of money doing this.
Maybe not.
I mean, now he probably ain't, but now he has his former students' gym also in the Quad Cities open, Breaking Point Jiu-Jitsu. If you're ever in the Quad Cities, check it out. One of the greatest gyms you can go there in the Quad Cities. Yeah, I mean, he's raking his students.
It's purely financial.
Yeah, I think because like his excuse is just not having the time. It was like, dude, people like you, like, I mean, like, it's not like he was probably rich, but like you're making good money teaching martial arts. You can make the time. He just never wanted to use his time like that, which, in a sense, I get it. You can do what you want in your spare time. But then when you got students leaving your gym to start up competition gyms against you, or students leaving your gym now to go join your competition student gym, you have no one to blame but yourself.
Yeah, and it's, going there, especially like, and I'll sound like a big bitch, like when you're going to a competition like that, having a coach there is a little bit of a safety blanket. It
just makes you feel comfortable.
It makes you feel comfortable, right?
Yeah.
Like, okay, Dad's here.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Like, and like I trained with him maybe 2 times in 4 years. But that was the only 2 times I've ever seen him train. So like I've never really even watched him train. So when I would go and compete, even now, and like my cousin and my brother would be there to like coach me, the amount of comfortability I felt. 'Cause not only like, you know, they're my cousins, they train with me, but like they are my training partners.
Right.
So like they physically know, like when they see me in a position, they're like, hey, you're good, relax. Like they know I'm good.
Sure.
They've been there with me before. They know how I can handle it. And they know when I'm in a serious position or like I'm starting to second guess with the way I'm doing my jiu-jitsu, they're, you know, hey, let's go, believe, you know, keep it up, like do this. Like they can see it in my demeanor, like, okay, he's starting to feel stressed on the position. He's starting to fatigue, like, you know, so just having that, almost that connectivity to like help you through the match mentally, especially when you're like, you're getting tired, you feel like you're going to fucking puke, you know, like.
Yeah, having a good corner
it's important.
You got to have a good corner, right?
It's important.
My brother did a stint where he did an MMA match after X amount of months or weeks or whatever of training. Like, hey, he's like, this is just something I want to do, right?
Right.
And I went down to corner, if you will, down to the fight, and I got ejected. But yeah, go figure. And he won. You know what I mean? Sure. But and luckily there was other people there besides me, because like I said, I got about halfway through the match. They were like, "You're out of here." But yeah, having a good corner, like that's. You have to, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, or it definitely helps.
Yeah. Like my brother, when he fought his MMA fight, I think I walked out with him and I was in his corner, but like I didn't even like coach him. It was like the guy teaching jiu-jitsu at the time, like coaching him, and then like the striking coach. It wasn't even me, but like the fact that he asked me just to be with him because like I'm the one that trains jiu-jitsu with him.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, like, I was like traveling the Quad Cities with him. He didn't have his license, so I was the one driving us to the Quad Cities. So like, you know, just him asking me not only made me feel like very special, but made me know that like, okay, my brother's looking for me as the support, you know, I mean,
sure.
I'll try to say it. Like, I mean, I'm sure it's scary. Like I would never do an MMA if I wanted to be punched in the face. And it's scary. Like, why do you want to go fight another human being just for like, I just want to do it. But like, you know, your brother, my brother, they're just different human beings. They're like, hey, let's go do it. That's what my brother wanted to do. And I was like, you're crazy, but you know.
And I know this is going to sound bizarre to say, I think I would be more apt to go into an MMA fight than I would to sign up for a jiu-jitsu competition.
Really?
I really think I would. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to say like, and it's probably ego and bravado or whatever. Like, I would feel more confident in the MMA space.
Good. That's good. Hey, that's good.
But then I still don't want to get punched in the face.
Yeah,
right?
But I do. That's just the last place I want to be. Like, I'll fight another MMA guy if he has a jiu-jitsu background. And like, I know this guy's gonna just jiu-jitsu fight. Like, we're gonna like bullshit jab till we get close and grapple. Like, I'll do that. I'll do that all day.
And then it's and then we're even, Steven.
Yeah.
I know it's ego. Like, I've always wanted to compete just to say that, like you said, that I've done it, because it is an experience that I haven't had.
Right.
I also know that I'm probably going to get fucked up.
Dude, I know I was. I'm like, man,
yeah,
I'm chilling.
Yeah, I'll eventually, you know what I mean? I'll wait till what's Masters? What age is Masters?
So it starts at 30. So it goes like 30 to 34.
Oh, so I'm already
35.
Yeah.
Oh, man, yeah, bro. I'm going to be Master 2 this year. I'm
Holy
going to be 35
shit.
actually in 2 weeks, like February 7th. So, yeah, man, I'm excited because I'm like, you know, like, just getting up in the age, but still being able to compete, like still seeing all the active competitors still out there, you know, and I get farther away from these like 18, 28-year-olds, man.
Yeah.
Because they're different breeds, man. These kids just don't stop, man. I don't got cardio like that. So,
that's the meme you see all the time, like, the 2-time divorced dad that's on TRT and, you know, like coming in.
Yes. Yeah. And that's the thing is people
are
like, man, but dude, when you go in the Masters, it's all just people on TRT. I'm like, bro, I'd rather fight the fucking guy on TRT who's still going to get tired than the kid who just doesn't get fucking tired. I don't care if he's on twice his strength. He don't get tired.
Yeah, it's endless tank.
He's just going to keep going. And like, bro, that's dangerous. That's just dangerous. Every time I have close Masters, it's usually the kid that's just younger because he's active.
Well, take me through a competition. Like, what's that like? Like, because I've heard you guys talk in the gym, obviously listening very intently because I'm intrigued. The amount of rules and the because I remember you telling a story and you weren't even talking to me. I was just listening. And it was something about like, you got disqualified after you like didn't even get to compete because you got disqualified because was it a gi length or a uniform issue?
So like when you go to compete for the IBJJF, there's like standards that they have. So one of the standards like being gi is like your gi cannot have like a certain, like when you put your arms out, your gi can't like go like this. It has to be like more than 2 fingers width from your, or like under 2 fingers from your wrist to where your gi's at. That way your gi can't be like this.
Okay.
You know, it has to have a certain amount of openness to it so they can stick a tool inside and go all the way to your elbow when you do this. If they can't, that's because your gi is too tight. And they'll make you change your gi because they can't grab the materials and it's like it's too skin tight. There's also like patch rules, like where your patches for your team and your affiliation or like your sponsors, where they can be and where they can't be.
You know, is that just for the sake of making rules, or is there a reason for that?
I don't know the reason for the patches or like the gi is so there's equal opportunity that like I'm not wearing like a skin tight gi.
Sure.
And you're wearing a baggy gi, so it's easier for me to grab you.
I understand, right?
You know?
That makes sense.
But like the belt, it has to be a certain amount of length on each side. Like it
No
can't be
shit.
under. Yeah, so when you tie your belt and you got the 2 tails at the end, it has to be a certain length.
And are they Nazis about it?
And they will, yes, no, so you line up one at a time. And then your first check is the gi check. You walk up and it's just like a lane and he's blocking because there's barricades on each side. So you got to go through him.
Mm-hmm.
He checks your gi over. If you pass gi check, he tells you, yeah, you're good. You go right behind him, which is the weigh-in station.
Okay.
You have to weigh in with your gi on. So like if you're supposed to like fight at 141, which normally sometimes where I would fight, I have to be 141 and a half with my gi on. I have to be essentially like if I'm going to go compete right now, I have to be 141.
So you technically got to be under.
You have to be on weight. Like it's not like 24-hour cut or like, oh, I weigh in the day before like MMA and stuff. You got to weigh in right before your match.
Wow.
And as soon as you get done weighing in, probably about 2 minutes later, they walk you up to the mat. And there's probably about like 2 or 3 minutes left of the match in front of like that's going right now. As soon as that match is done, you guys will start your match.
Okay.
And then you got to get used to the referee hand signals. So like when the competitors leave the mat, he'll tell you guys this, which means step up to the front of the mats. And then he'll tell you, which means you can come on the mat. If you come on the mat before it, he can technically penalize you and give you a penalty for it. But most of the time, they're just like, hey, I didn't call you on yet. And then they call you on. Are you so-and-so? Are you so-and-so? Combate, which means fight. Then there's rules and like codes that and hand signals he'll get based on the points or like penalties or positions or whatever. If like, let's say I scored on you and I look at the scoreboard and it says that you have the 2 points, not me. And I look at the ref and go, hey, the scoreboard's wrong. He will change the scoreboard, but then he'll give me a penalty for talking to him.
Ah.
You can't talk to the ref. So the competitors cannot talk to the ref. You can get a penalty for it. So it's again, why it's important to have a coach in your corner. It's your coach's job to be like, hey, ref, scorekeeper, that score is wrong. It's for the wrong athlete. Like,
does that happen often?
Nah, I would say a good 15, 20% of the time.
I can see where that would turn into complete fucking anarchy. You know, be like, you know what I mean?
It's pretty good if you can just like yell, instead of yell for the instructor or the ref, just yell at the ring coordinator. Because then the ring coordinator will usually like look at the ref, and because the ref will hear you ask for the ring coordinator and he'll watch, and then he'll usually give the signal like flip. You know, only he can give the signal to flip. She won't flip it or they won't flip it unless the referee tells them so.
Sure.
Unless, I mean, you're Carlson Gracie Jr. or, you know, Henzo Gracie. You know what I mean? You know, then you can get what you want. You know, you can damn near walk around the fucking mat and go into the barricade and go do it yourself if you, honestly, probably, because, you know, they have a higher...
they got juice.
Yeah. They got, they got that weight to throw around.
Yeah,
but
they got juice.
The rest of us Americans that, nobody knows, like, we're nothing. So
would you ever, or have you ever gone to Brazil? Like, have you ever visit the motherland, so to speak?
I have not, but I would love to. I think like nothing would be better than training gi jiu-jitsu in Brazil and like a real hot fucking day. Like that's how those athletes were made. You can see those guys who come from Brazil, not just from the favelas, because they came poor or whatever, but just the way that they just handle the heat and the stress and the pressure of fighting in the gi. They're they're so much better at it, you know, and I think it's a lot to do with their atmosphere, what they bring in, like what they have in Brazil. You know, a lot of people who go and compete at the Brazilian Nationals, which has been held in the same facility for like, I want to say almost like 20 years.
Yeah.
It's people say there's no better feeling. Like,
I bet,
no
dude.
better feeling than like they say the Brazilian, like the cheering in the audience is bigger than what it would be at the World Championship. And just because like the amount of fans there are in Brazil for jiu-jitsu. So, you know, I think it'd be super cool, man. I really think it'd be an awesome trip. Something I do want to experience for sure.
Yeah, that would be insane. That would be incredible, dude. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a different feeling. Like, even like when I was over in Thailand, obviously Thailand is well known for their, you know, Muay Thai,
right?
You know, and we were there. Obviously, I was there with the Marine Corps, and I was like, hey, there's some boxes I want to check while I'm here, but I definitely want to just go in and watch,
yes,
you know, one of these training sessions, you know, which they're not hard. They got them all over the place, right? And it is a different feeling when you walk in there. You're like, oh, they're not fucking around in here at all.
Yeah, exactly, man.
There's
differences, you know.
Yeah, this is legit.
A lot of those places too are like, they're like in Brazil and like in Thailand that are really good at Muay Thai and stuff. Like, they're not in it for the making of the money. They're in it just to keep the like that, like what they know of the sport.
Yeah,
you know, alive. It just attracts like the craziest goons in the world around, you know, and they all willing to pay for it, you know. But same thing in like Brazil, you see like they're not in it for to make the money. The mats are tore down and beat up. There's no drop-in fee. You know, they're just like, oh, come in and train. And, you know, they're just happy to have someone come train.
It's very pure.
Yeah, and it's,
right?
But man, yeah, it's just different. Like if I brought that over into my gym, I'd scare all my students away.
Yeah, it's another level.
But like, it's something I think everyone should experience. You know, everyone should experience something like that because, you know, we got that on the Carlson Gracie team, you know, and Carlson Gracie goes on to Brazil. I mean, he used to go to Brazil all the time, and he used to always invite us, and I always wanted to go, especially having someone like Carlson going with him, having that like chauffeur of like pointing you where to go and like
what, you know, better
you keep yourself safe because he knows where to go and everyone knows him. I mean, they made a statue of his dad in Copacabana, you know, so I mean, like everyone knows who he is. But you know, switch teams, left, did everything. So like, you know, that I can't do, but I still can go to Brazil.
Oh man, it would be so fucking badass.
Yeah, it'd be awesome.
It would be rad. It's like I said, like you'll just never master it. Like that was one of the things that intrigued me as well. Is like there is no end.
No,
like there's no finish line. Like you'll. You know, and everybody that's worth their salt that I've ever talked to is like, hey man, the belt's just what holds your gi together or whatever, hold your pants up, so to speak.
Yep.
And as soon as you hit black belt, you're basically starting.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And there's just no end to it. And for some reason that intrigues me. Like, what do you mean there's no end? You know, like
that's 100% the truth, man.
Right?
I mean, like I think, and like you hear, it is the truth though. Like nobody out there will ever perfect all of jiu-jitsu. They won't master it. There's too much to master. And you get a lot of people being like, well, then why do you do it? And it's like, the rebuttal your question, why wouldn't you?
Right.
I mean, think about it. It's something in a sense where like, oh, I don't want to do it. You've been doing it longer than me, so you're better than me. Yeah, right now, you could get up to my skill level in 3 or 4 years. It just depends what route you take. And there's so many infinite routes to jiu-jitsu to be good at grappling. There's not a right one. There's just what you think is it. There's foundation, like anything. Everything has a foundation, right? A building, a bridge, a car. Everything has a foundation, and then we just build on top of it the way we want to build it. And then you got different models, different buildings, different ideas, different way to hold loads on like bridges and like different engineering types. Like it's all the same, essentially the same shit though. It's on foundation. It's just built differently. It's the same exact shit, you know. And I think people realize that they got to stop looking. Like when they start jiu-jitsu, they're looking ahead on the road and they're seeing how far I am.
Yeah.
And they got to see how far they got to go. You know, some people quit right then and there.
Sure.
Some people go, running that road for about 3-4 years and then they look ahead and they might even see the guy who started a year after them. He's almost right next to him, catching up. And again, they're like, look how far I got to go and look how fast he's gotten. But nobody turns around and looks how far they've come.
Sure.
Everyone just wants to look how far they got to go. and how far they've come. And that's the biggest problem in jiu-jitsu. Because like I'll tell you right now, I look to see where my instructor is to where I'm at. I might as well just fucking quit. Like my instructor is like, he's just better. He understands it better. He's been doing it a lot longer. You know, there's no disheartening in saying that.
Mm-hmm.
There's just, you know, like I'm blessed to have someone that's that knowledge. So for as long as he's doing jiu-jitsu, he's going to help me get to that version of him, you know? So
it is a matter of perspective, dude, because I fall victim to it all the time. Like it's like, God damn it. You know what I mean? Like if I focus on where I think I should be, right?
Yeah.
Then it gets discouraging.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, versus, hey man, don't worry about any of that shit. Just go.
Yes.
Just go. Just keep going.
Yep.
And just be present in the moment for that hour, whether it's, you know, and I've, like I said, we were talking about it in the lobby. I'm like, oh God, I haven't gone in 2 months, you know, which is might as well be like starting all over.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm like, God damn it, I got to start all over. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then that discourages you from going.
It does.
You know, when I should just say, hey, just shut the fuck up and just go. You know what I mean?
That's like, but again, like, man, people, I guess, like, what is the hardest part about jiu-jitsu? I get that question a lot, even with the kids that came from Whiteside. Like, what is the hardest thing about jiu-jitsu? Showing up.
Yep.
It's the hardest thing. Even if it's coming from a black belt, showing up.
Mm-hmm.
Show up. The days you feel all, like, there's a difference between, like, injured and sore. Like, if you're sore and you don't want to show up to class, it's probably just because, you know, you don't want to lose. That's that ego speaking. Well, you should come to class then so that ego can get crushed, and then, you know, you don't got to worry about that dark figure in the closet that you don't want to open the closet door for and face.
Right.
Just go and face it right now. Just go to class, get beat up, and in the locker room realize that's not the end of the fucking world. They're still my friends. I'm still, great. You know, it's a great feeling, but that's I feel like the struggle of it. People like, you know, only come when they feel good.
Yeah.
Come when they know they're going to be the hammer. You know, come when, you know, oh, my friend's going to go, but my friend's not going today, so I'm not going to go. Like, don't base class on like things like that. You know, you don't go to work just because your friend's going to work, right? If your friend called off, you're still going to work, right? You know, unless you got vacation time too, you know, but you're going to consistently do things by yourself for yourself. So it's like, you might as well just start off with this then, you know, and like putting that foot forward every day.
Yeah, it is, man. It's you know, it's cold, it's early, like you said, you're sore, like God damn, like but man, when you walk out, it's you're so glad you went.
Yeah,
you're so glad you went. What would you say is your most humbling experience that you've had? And I know the whole thing is humbling. I know, like, but like a real like oh shit humbling moment.
The first time I went out to California, and I went, so like in jiu-jitsu, like when we were coming from the Midwest, Carlson Gracie team, we're known for like that smash pass, very heavy, cross face, like Midwest style wrestling, very aggressive.
Yeah.
And then when I went to Cali, I even like the first couple rolls, I had people being like, you know, oh dude, just, you know, relax, don't go so aggressive, you know. And I was like, I'm not even going that fucking aggressive, you know. I was like, I don't understand it. And then, you know, that was one thing. But then even when I would try to get aggressive and it's like, okay, now I'm going to just like what me and my brother would call like, I'm going to big brother you around, you know, I'm just going to, you know, big sibling you. And the way they just finessely handled my aggression and just the way they did their technique and like the way they played guard and like, you know, we call it West Coast style jiu-jitsu. So
like a different vibe.
It's a very vibe style. So like you see how I do it now. I sit on my butt. I can spin upside down. I do all these crazy moves that like, how the fuck did he end up here? That came from the West Coast style. So it's very, you know, it's just jiu-jitsu. But in the West Coast, they focused on the finesse-ness of like, you know, be elegant, like electric technique, like, you know, chained together very fluidly. In the Midwest, it was like, you know, break your fucking opponent, you know, get him in the bottom, squeeze that motherfucker till he gives up. Where you couldn't even get these positions on these kids. They were so like graceful that like you couldn't even get there. And that was like, I left, I trained at Carlson Gracie Temecula. I trained with a guy named Tom Cronin. Shout out to Tom because, you know, he was a great guy. I mean, he really opened my eyes to the modern style of jiu-jitsu than what we were being taught. And I mean, because of being in California, everybody had to teach jiu-jitsu like that because that was the mecca of jiu-jitsu in the United States. I mean, besides that, in Texas right now, that's pretty much still the same.
Really?
Yeah. And I mean, dude, it was just, dude, again, the way they just did their technique and the way they, I mean, I came home and I replicated my entire game, even to this day, very West Coast style game. Now, in no-gi, I'm very Midwest style. I'll wrestle. I'm looking to throw people. I'm looking to get on top and just smash you into the ground. But when it comes to gi jiu-jitsu, like, I don't got to do all that shit. I don't got to waste energy to wrestle you. I just sit on my butt, put you on your butt, and then get on top of you and just, you know, make you hate life. So it's a different vibe, but it was like the biggest humbling thing I could ever like really like, there's a couple of them, but that was like the one that really like humbled me in the sport of like, there's a lot more to this.
Made you rethink
than what I think of jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
You know, like as a whole. So completely opened my eyes.
That's interesting. Yeah, it's and I've been fortunate enough, not obviously with as much as you have, but have traveled, you know, and always trying to find a place to get some training in or whatever. And every gym kind of has its own vibe and own flavor. Yeah. You know what I mean? And none of them have been bad. Right. But there are differences.
Yes, there are.
Yeah. You know, there are differences.
And it can be pro and cons for like, oh, well, that's not really meant for my body type, or like that's kind of hard for me because I'm not as flexible. But it's the knowledge still that you can bring back and take to your friend who maybe is strong, who is flexible, who is fast. So that technique might be really good for them. So then being able to exchange that technique to them and like giving them a tool now that can help better them. Like, I mean, I try to constantly preach to people, like, don't just focus on the techniques that are good for you. Focus on the techniques that are going to be good in general overall, especially if you want to teach jiu-jitsu. Sure. You know, not everyone's built 145 or 155 now. So I'm gaining weight, but no one's, you know, 155, you know, 5'10", you know, not everybody, you know, some people are 155, 5'6". Yeah. Some people are 5'10" and they're fucking brick houses. So, you know, you got to have that right technique for everybody. So,
yeah, that's the black belt that I used to roll with when I was in Virginia. Longtime friend. He's, you know, very, very knowledgeable, very competes, you know, nice. And that was one of the cool aspects about training with him was he would point those things out. He's like, hey man, with your body style and your type, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to worry about this as much, you know, like basically how to use my build as in the most advantageous way. Yes. You know, he's like, a guy like me, he goes, I don't give a shit. Like, he goes, I'm going to have a hard time getting around your neck. He's like, because you don't have one. You know, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever, you know? And just it's, I was always and still am to this day. He was just on the show not too long ago. Impressed, just in awe of the level of knowledge. Right. You know, after 10, 15 years, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not sure. I bet he's at least in the teens, you know? And just the endless amounts of knowledge. Right. You know, like, it's like, where do you keep it all? You know what I'm saying? How do you keep it?
You start forgetting names and like wedding anniversaries and things like that. Just keep putting jiu-jitsu knowledge.
It's all arm bars. And
There's nothing up here besides chokes.
And man, he trains so much, and I've always been so envious, right? Like, you know, he trains a lot, you know? And one of the things he taught me, he was like, hey, if you're hurt, like you talked about, if you're no shit hurt, he goes, go in there anyways. Yeah. He goes, just watch. Dude, yes. You know, he goes, you would be amazed. You know what I'm saying? He goes, and he also taught, like, don't be afraid to say, hey, I'm good. Yes. Like, I'm going to sit this one out. Yes. You know what I mean? Like, yes. I that never occurred to me, which also kind of added to the, like, oh, fuck, man. You know what I mean? Like, who gives a shit? Just say, hey, take a break. And then it turns out nobody cares. Yep. You know?
No, and that's the thing is like, just like letting your teammate know, like, you know, hey man, no, I'm resting today, or I'm a little beat up. I mean, like, I don't know. Think about it. Like, you're being a little like you're getting on a personal level with them when you let them know something like that. So it helps increase the vibes in the relationship at the gym because not everyone's like, kind of like, in a sense, keeping to themselves unless it's on jiu-jitsu time or like jiu-jitsu knowledge. When you let someone know, like, hey man, yeah, no, I tweaked this the other day, you know, like, I was trying to shovel and I slipped. And the guy's like, oh, it's okay, man. And he sits down. He's like, yeah, dude, I busted my ass too trying to do this. And now you guys are shooting the shit about the weather. You know, like you guys are like, again, it goes on to that. You're not affecting your teammate because he sat down to talk to you about it. But now you guys are bonding.
Right.
Other than just jiu-jitsu. And that's what's important.
Yeah,
like it has
100%.
to have that vibe of you know, because we're teammates, we can't be friends, you know, but because we're friends, we can't be teammates. Meaning like, just because you guys are friends doesn't mean you can't train hard together, but doesn't mean just because you're teammates, you guys always have to be training hard.
Sure. Absolutely.
You know? So it's a great balance, but I think it's like, that's the stuff like people want the instructors to like moderate, but it's like, I can't do that for you. Like that's stuff you have to want to do.
Yeah.
But the more I lead it by example, students will follow it.
Yeah,
you know?
without a doubt. And you guys have a fairly large female aspect. You guys have, right?
Yeah, I think we got right now about like 10 or 12 girls that train with us.
That's badass.
Yeah, man. So we got a couple girls who only do the women's only program. You know, so if you guys, you ladies don't want to train with, you know, sweaty men, we do have the women's only program.
Which I get. Yeah.
And I totally get it. And then we got girls who train in the women's only program and who come to the all level like co-ed classes. And we have a girl who her schedule does not like fit the women's only schedule. And she comes to the no-gi classes that are co-ed, and she doesn't, you know, she only trains with the guys.
Sure.
So like, you know, we have a kind of a wide spectrum of girls, you know, of like what they're there for, what their goals are for, you know, and things like that. So like, I think it's awesome. You know, I love it.
And the kids program is you know, I obviously mine hasn't been there in quite some time, right? But you have a strong kids program as well.
Yeah, it recently just built back up, man. We were down in the numbers for a while. I mean, not to sound, you know, too off the market of jiu-jitsu, but like, you know, more parents putting tablets in front of their kids and not enough push to do sports is really what I think you seeing just a decrease in sport attendance in general around the area. But lately the classes have been built back up into the 20s. So, which is awesome because I mean, as a kid, man, when you show up to jiu-jitsu class and there's only 3 other kids, I mean, like,
yeah,
it's like, it's cool. You guys learn more technique, but like the kids aren't really there for the technique. They're there for like the bond, the friendship, you know, and like
the fun.
In the sense that the fun in the games. And it's your job as an instructor to like, okay, how can I push them through games? How can I make them want to do better through games or like through like scenarios or like, you know, like teaching a kid that it's okay to get competitive, like to want to beat your friend and not want to lose is important. It's also important to get them to that point where they're like, I don't want to lose. And then they lose and they're like,
yeah,
it's important because that's the time where we walk over and go, hey, did you try? You put 110%? Ain't no shame in it then.
Yeah, nobody's undefeated.
It was just it wasn't your day today. It's all good, bud. And it's good to teach kids, try your hardest. And if you fail, fuck it, try it again. Because that's what sports do.
Invaluable life lesson, especially, you know, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, those individuals, invaluable life lesson.
Especially wrestling, man. Wrestling's that like, I mean, I'm serious, man. Like wrestling's that like, jiu-jitsu's more the hippie cousin of wrestling. It's for everybody, you know. Wrestling still has that like the strong survive, but I mean, is that not the world?
Yeah, for sure.
Is that not the world? Like, name one, like, okay, besides the millionaires and billionaires who got like, you know, passed down their wealth by their parents, name one millionaire that didn't bust his ass.
100%.
You know, like.
And just that lesson that you lesson that you learn when someone else imposes their physical will on you. You know what I mean? Like it's a horrible feeling.
It is.
It is. It's a horrible. When my son started wrestling 3-4 years ago, you know, my wife, other than my wife watching me do it in high school, because I wrestled, you know, since I could walk, you know, type of deal.
That's
right?
awesome.
And very, very young, you know, and I was kind of educating my wife. I was like, this is going to be about the most emotional experience that he's ever had.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there's going to be a lot of tears. There's going to be a lot of throwing shit. And you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
You know,
he's going to have to find himself in these moments. Of
correct.
Like, and that's the thing is like a parent can't help a kid find his center. That's as much as people are like, oh, give the kid the safety blanket or give him his favorite tablet. Like, he's not gonna. He can't have his tablet in the real world. You know, like he can't take his blankie to work with him. His boss says no blankie at work or no
Right.
tablet. You can't do that.
Yeah.
So to have a kid have to find his self-center and his like center balance, and then and take that deep breath and like push that anxiety out, not let it creep up on them and go, okay, I got this. Just stay calm. Like, I mean, dude, like no kid's born with that. Nobody's born with that. You have to develop that. And like, I mean, for me, it was jiu-jitsu that developed that for me. Jiu-jitsu developed that, like, you're going to learn to be comfortable, uncomfortable. That's just the way it goes in the sport. And to this day, man, I see people dodging my 280-pound students, my 230-pound student who fucking lifts like an ox. I see people duck and dodge them because they don't want to go against that. Or me, I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I'll go against it.
Yes,
because I have no fear. Like, okay, you submit me, that's cool. I'm gonna come right back. Because for me, as a smaller male at 155, if a 280-pound man tried to mug me, this is the most realistic training I'm going to get out of this.
You're ever gonna get.
Is learning how to fucking handle a bear like this. So now when I go on the street and someone does this, I mean, I got a lot more confidence.
I know exactly who you're talking about in the gym, and he is a dense individual. He's a thick boy.
He is, bud. He is.
I mean, one day I was like, "How much do you weigh?" And he basically said the same. You know, we were very, very close in weight, but I hope I felt as heavy on him as he feels on me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Because it's like, bro. You know?
Yeah, man.
What a bear.
Yeah, dude. I just rolled with one of my students just yesterday. No, Saturday. Yeah, yesterday. And man, dude, just like I told him at the end of class, I was like, hey man, don't let anyone tell you your technique and your size, you know, or it's your size and your strength, blah, 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 blah. Let them know, hey, I got technique too, you know, this and that. And he was like, thanks, coach. I'm like, because when they use that, oh, you got, you know, oh, you're strong, bro, you're this and that. I was like, that's just pussy shit, bro. That's just, you know, like tell them, learn to handle it, you know, because don't let anyone discredit you from what you're doing because they say you're strong, you know, like you hear that a lot in jiu-jitsu, people being like, oh, you're so strong, you know. Well, I never know I've been like, oh, you're so quick. You're so fast. That's because that's not the like typical thing people like to say. But they always like to poke the big guys and be like, "Oh, you're so strong." But it's like, he good too. Yeah, he's good too. Don't be trying to sell him short. You know?
He's got some medals around his neck.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So like, man, like I cannot wait till my students that are like that big, who can get so technically sound that they can shut my technique out just as good as I can dish it out, and they're fucking just huge because now. I make one mistake, they're all over me.
Dangerous
humans,
dude.
That's the way I like it to be. You know,
dangerous
like I train
fucking
like that.
humans. Dangerous.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're into the mid 200s and you know what you're doing. Like,
they say at purple belt, like it doesn't matter if you're a black belt. If he's a purple belt and he's 50 pounds bigger than you, he's gonna win.
Yeah, no shit, right?
And I didn't know that was actually the truth, man, until like probably like my third or fourth time going to Cali. We separated for comp class. They were like, okay, everyone who's 160 this way, everyone who's 160 or like 170 this way, whoever's 170 and up, come this way. And I was like, oh, that's weird. We usually go by belts, you know, like all blue belts together, all purple belts together, you know? And I was like, it doesn't make sense. And the instructor himself was like, I mean, dude, if I put, you know, through 250-pound purple belt with the other purple belts, he's not going to challenge any of them. You know what I mean? He needs to be with other 200-pound guys and like stuff like that. And whatever, we did the class or whatever, you know? And then I seen a guy who was talking about the same purple belt. His brother was a black belt who was training on our side. And I didn't know they were brothers. And then at the end, they're talking shit, you know, so they decided to roll. And dude, his purple belt brother was fucking mopping him up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I know it actually does matter when this dude's 220 pounds and this guy's 150. It does matter.
Yeah,
well, this guy's just, he's just as smart with his technique. Maybe not as super sharp as the black belt, but he's still sharp enough to stay out of danger, and his size matters, you know? You know.
It is super impressive when you see, you know, obviously, I don't know what the proper term for it is, like no class or whatever, but you just see this monster, you know, going up against this, you know, regular dude.
Yeah, so they call it the absolute division.
Okay.
Which means basically no weight. Yeah.
Sure, and it's like I'm glued to it. I can't not watch it.
Yeah, man. I've done a couple absolute divisions. I've never done them in the Chicago Open that I've done. My 11th win in the Chicago Open, 11th gold medal, was actually a gold medal in the absolute division at brown belt.
No shit.
Yeah, so I did I won my weight class in no-gi at 136. And then I hurried up after that, after like weigh-ins in the match, I went in and I ate like a triple decker peanut butter and jelly, slamming water, because I knew I was going to do the absolute. And I was like, I know I went up to like 143 in like 6 hours, or like 4 hours. I was like, like I felt good. And I was like, man, I know I'm going to get the shit into the stick and get like all these big guys. Sure enough, I was so it goes rooster, light feather, lightweight, middleweight. Then it gets into like medium heavy, super heavy, ultra heavy. I was the only light featherweight, and then it went right to medium heavy.
How big was he?
The first guy, he was the medium heavy silver medalist. So he was like 180 something. So that was my first match against him. I ended up, we were wrestling for about a good 4 or 5 minutes, and then I ended up pulling guard, and I knee barred him with like 5 seconds left. So I ended up submitting him with a knee bar. And then I went to the semifinals, which was against the gold medalist ultra heavyweight. So he was 230 plus.
Bro.
The gold medalist for that division. And I was like, I remember like looking at my instructor, and I was like, oh, son of a bitch. Like, I would go against this guy.
Like a scary 230? I mean, 230 is 230, but like...
he was probably about my height, but dude, 4 times my size. Like,
right.
Just wide, just ox. And I remember I was like, I'm just going to wrestle him because I don't want to pull underneath him right away and like spend 6 minutes under his weight. There's a lot of weight. So I was like, I'm going to wrestle him for a little bit. I did try to wrestle him. He ended up attempting to try to put me in like a standing guillotine, and he had my feet legit actually off the mat, just dangling because he picked me up by my neck. So like, I mean, it was a kind of not so much scary in the moment, scary when you watch it because it's like, oh shit, I could have just broke my neck. But I ended up trying to then, I got out of that. I tried to duck under him, failed, but I ended up elevating him, forcing a scramble, ended up getting to the top, which then he just tried to big man roll me over, put him in a triangle choke, and then finished a triangle choke.
Sick.
Yeah, so then thankfully I was in the finals with my teammate from the Quad Cities, and he had really, really 2 hard fights to make it to the finals against me. And he bowed out to me because he was like, nah, I'm not trying to fight you right now.
Yeah, just I'm spent.
Yeah. So he gave me the gold medal, which was really appreciative because like I knew it would be I trained my entire like camp in a sense, training that I knew I was going to fight him in the absolute. Like I knew I was going to fight my own teammate in the absolute. And I mean, dude, he's already won like 5, 6 gold medals in the absolute division. So like he's very well sound and knows how to like fight in those divisions. So I knew like, we trained all the time together too. So I was like, I know where I can beat him and I know where I need to put myself, but I need to have that energy and the stamina for it. So, he bowed out to me, thankfully. Like I was ready. So like, I felt like I was still going to win the match, even if we competed, but I was really happy because I was like, let's hurry up and raise our hands. Cause I was like, he's forfeiting me. Let's go and do it real quick. So it's down around the computers.
So it's done.
Yeah. Cause I want my medal because I was like super excited. Cause my goal was to I assumed this was going to be my last Chicago Open at brown belt. I wanted to get 4 gold medals, do my weight class in the gi, my weight class in no gi, the absolute in the gi, and the absolute in no gi. I walked away with 3 gold medals. I got submitted in the first round of the absolute in the gi by the guy who ended up winning the division. So
wow,
I knew, my instructor even told me that this was the guy to beat. If I could beat him, I most likely would cruise to the gold medal. Made a crucial mistake and got submitted, which happens. Looked back at the footage and was like, fuck yeah, I shouldn't have done that again. I dodged, I played with fire 3 times and didn't get burned. It's just a matter of time. So, it is what it is, but still happy. Came out with 3 gold medals out of the 4. And it was a great day.
Yeah, it's motivating, dude. It's motivating. It's it takes nuts just to sign up for it to begin with.
Yeah, especially when you get to no weight class stuff. When you look across and you're going against like a fucking big bear, it's like,
yeah,
God help me.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the level of confidence that, it's either a level of confidence or a combination of don't give a fuck.
Yep. It's just straight stupidity. You're just like, yep. I mean, shit, the last time I went in absolute, I popped my rib against like a 300-pound guy because I was like, I'm just going to do jiu-jitsu like I normally do. And that showed me real quick, you can't do jiu-jitsu how you normally do against 140 guys on a 300-pound guy. That don't work like that. He moves differently. So that opened my eyes like, okay, I have to think about how I'm going to compete. Not just train, because training is one thing, but competing against a guy who, like you said, who's going out there, has no fucks given what's going to happen to you. They just know, I'm going to win.
Yeah.
Those are different beings, man. Those are different beings. So you got to understand that, like, yeah, like when he flipped over my body and he folded me like an accordion and popped my rib, I mean, he didn't have no regard for that. He was doing what he had to do to get out of that position.
Yeah, exactly.
It just sucks that my body essentially couldn't endure that smash.
Yeah, it's not personal.
You know?
It's,
Nope. And which it was totally cool. As soon as I hurt myself and like we stopped the match, he was super like, dude, I'm so sorry. And I'm like, that's not your fault. And he's like, I shouldn't have done that to you. And I'm like, dude, it's not your fault. You're doing what you should be doing. If that was someone your size, that was what you should have been doing.
Yeah. And think about it, like, as we're looking at it from the aspect of like the smaller guy, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
but nobody thinks about it for the bigger guy.
Like, imagine that bigger guy walking out and being like, I'm gonna.
It's a lose-lose situation for him. If he beats the little guy, you should have. If he loses to the little guy, you got beat by the little guy. Like, no, I fucking get it, man. I get it. So like, no, I'm a guy that's like, if we're in the absolute and I'm your opponent and you're fucking 80 pounds bigger than me, I want you to fucking show me you're 80 pounds bigger than me.
Sure.
I don't give a fuck if you just hold me down for the whole 6 minutes. If I can't do shit for 6 minutes because you're just holding me down, whose jiu-jitsu was really worse?
Right.
Whose jiu-jitsu was worse? And like, I take that shit to heart because like, I should have done more. I should have been able to make you let go of me and do something else. If you were just able to sit in that one position, ain't your fault. Ain't the ref's fault. It's my fault. I think so. You know, no standards or, certain scenarios, but grantedly, you could have done a lot more to change the match, from your own perspective.
Well, in a typical tournament, how many matches do you expect to, or how many fights in a typical tournament are there?
So it depends on what weight you are. Because, like most typical men are around 160 to about 200 pounds. So those are like, I would say divisions like lightweight and middleweight, you see the most increased numbers of like people in that bracket. I remember the first year we went to the World Championships in California. My teammate was in the blue belt featherweight division, which had like 100 and something people in the bracket. And the lightweight blue belt division, which is like blue belt, the most common belt. So then you got the most common weight, lightweight. There was like 180 fucking people in that division.
Dude.
That division went on from like 9 in the morning to like fucking 3 p.m. It was so long. It was absolutely crazy. And the guy that won, like, I mean, like the amount of like cheering and shit he did, dude, I felt like I won just from watching because I was like, that's such a great feeling probably to get through such a division like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's 10
to be able
matches.
To say I won fucking 189-man bracket to win the world title.
Wow.
Like, fuck it, hey, bro. Most I've ever had in my bracket was like 30 something, 40 something.
Wow.
So they even have like, I was like, bro, I was mind blown. Like you're looking at like, so like 180, it goes down to 90, goes down to, 45, goes down to 24. It's just that, like you're looking at fucking like 7, 8, 9 matches of like, and as the matches go deeper, you're fighting now the creme de la creme.
Yeah.
Each time you're fighting the best fucking guy in the bracket. Like, man, the last match was a war. I mean, like, no stalling shit, no like, they just fought 8 matches so they're tired. No, these guys gave 150%. Like, I mean, there was no question why they were in the finals of that tournament.
Grind.
Yeah, there was no question. Like just watching them at that moment, 8, 9 matches deep, looking better than me on my best day, on day one, like just minute 1 of a match.
Well, and do they do it I forgive the novice question because I've never been to a competition. Do they do it like wrestling where is it a bracket or?
So yeah, you know how like wrestling, they'll do like, okay, so like let's say there's like 3 weight classes, 66, 77, 88 kilograms. So to do the first round of 66, then the first round of 77, first round of 88, and then they'll circle back to the second round of 66, typical wrestling. In jiu-jitsu, it goes like, okay, so, you're 66 kilogram bracket for blue belt, you're on mat 8. And they just run first round, second round, third round, fourth round. Then this guy that's up here, if you didn't get a long enough break, they'll go to one match of a different bracket. Then they will come right back to you, and then you guys will...
So it could be minutes between matches?
Yes, I've finished a bracket of like 16 people in 35 minutes, 40 minutes once.
Oh,
yeah.
God.
Man. So like people were like, wrestling's so hard. It is a hard sport. I do agree it's like one of the hardest ones. But when it comes to tournaments, they're babied.
Yeah, right.
Not like jiu-jitsu tournaments. Jiu-jitsu like tournaments are like, don't get me wrong, you can fight like when you're in a high-level wrestling tournament. Don't get me wrong; those breaks are needed. But dude, I've been in Pan American Championships where I finished the entire bracket in an hour. Imagine wrestling like a Fargo tournament.
Yeah,
in under an hour, your entire bracket.
Brutal.
Like I don't honestly think a wrestler could do it.
Probably not, dude.
Because they're not structured like that.
Yeah. But
don't get me wrong. There's also a lot more explosive movement in wrestling. Like in jiu-jitsu, we can just sit guard and not take the match slow. There's no slow matches in wrestling. It's just fucking balls of the walls after an hour of recovery. But pros and cons to each.
Right, and kind of the better, right? Obviously, the more skilled you are, and that's another thing that Luke kind of taught me was like, the goal is to conserve energy.
Yes.
Like work smoother, not harder.
Yes, yeah.
And that obviously it's very counter. I don't want to say it's counter to wrestling, but it's just different speeds.
Yeah.
But goddamn, an hour on the fucking mat
dude,
that's a lifetime.
It's different, man. I mean, like there's a very famous meme that goes around that's like, when you just competed a match and the ref tells you you're up in 6 more minutes and the guy's like,
yeah,
and like, no, that's how it is. Like I've gotten on the mat and barely have gotten my socks on, just my socks. And the ref's like, hey, you're up in 6 more minutes. Ugh. I'm like, and technically, as long as your matches, so if your bracket is set, like you're a blue belt, so you fight for 6 minutes, they only had to give you a 6-minute break.
Yeah.
That's the most, and if you don't want to do it, you forfeit.
No shit.
So like there are times where like I did a match, 6-minute break, a match, 6-minute break.
You haven't even caught your breath yet.
Dude, no, like I'm going into the finals like damn near gagging. Mm-hmm. But I know he feels the same way, so we just got to push through it. But there are times where I'm still on round 2 of my bracket, like Worlds. I was on round 2 of my bracket one time in 2016 at the World Nogi, and the kid that I fought in the semifinals was already in the semifinals, and I had 2 more fights to go. Because his bracket, like on that, like he was on mat 6, I was on mat 8, because the bracket was so big, so they're being held on different sides of the bracket were being held on different mats. His just flew, and like I did my 2 matches, and I mean, it was like I was getting off the mat, and the ref was like trying to call me over to mat 8. It was like, hey, you got to do this. Thankfully, my ref on mat 6 ran over there and was like, oh, no. Like, he just did his quarterfinal match. Like, no, he's resting. So I was like, oh, thank God. But, like, even then, like, there's, like, people, like, pros and cons to everything. Like, I went in a little bit more warmed than this kid, so I could push the pace a little bit faster. I felt like he was slow to start up because, he's kind of so cooled. But at the same time, when it came to, like, I kind of got caught up in the game of strategy against him. Like, he just out-strategized me, not really out-grappled me. But because I was just trying to grapple because I was warm and I'm active, I'm just trying to push the pace. I kind of got blinded to the strategic value of it. And he edged me out by just being a better strategist, which to this day still stings my ass. Like, I'm proud of the loss because it taught me a lot when it comes to, like, out of like all my teammates, I would probably say I'm probably one of the top 3 guys who understand the rules the best when it comes to strategy. But even then, he opened my eyes to a whole nother level. He opened my eyes to what his coaches are able to do on manipulation of like the scenario. Because I remember, he's more of a gi guy. Mm-hmm. So a lot of his techniques that he's really good at slowing people down and kind of stalling them out was not going to work in no-gi because, there's no grips.
You're right. There's no hold, right.
His coach, who's a 4-time Hall of Fame world champion at black belt, his words to him, and I heard him clear as day, was don't grapple me. Mm-hmm. He was instructed essentially not to grapple me. And I always kind of thought that was weird before going out, but then the more I thought about it on the flight home, it's a long 4.5-hour flight home from San Francisco to Chicago. I remember that like it made sense that like he knew he couldn't beat me in a grappling match.
That's a feather in your cap, dude. Yeah.
He knew that I would beat him in a grappling match overall. But he knew but his students still beat me on strategy. Mm-hmm. I was blown away by that, like some David and Goliath shit. Mm-hmm. On paper, he's still a good opponent because he's from the Art of Jiu-Jitsu Academy, a big academy in the world. Everyone knows their gym. But like, I still had the better chance of winning. Yeah. But he still edged me out strategically.
In being able to lose, obviously, you need to get real comfortable with losing with grace.
You have to. Or you won't see really why you lost.
Right. And like I told, and I told my son this, I'm like, me personally, because I can remember having both of these things happen on multiple occasions. Like, I would never really get upset if I got just whistle blows and within 30 seconds I'm getting tuned up.
Yeah. Yep.
Like I'm completely outclassed.
Yep.
Like, okay, cool. Yep, I get it. That happens. Versus a nail biter to the finish that, that's, like you lose by 1 point.
Yes.
That is a totally different gut-wrenching experience. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, but I tell my son, I'm like, hey, you're going to lose. No one goes undefeated.
Yep.
But did you learn? Like, did you learn from it? What did we learn from it?
Yes.
If you learn something from it, then it's not a loss. It's just an experience.
Exactly. There's a famous quote they say in Carlson Gracie Sr. used to say, you either win or you learn. Mm-hmm. You have a lot of guys going on social media right now that are like, oh, let's stop that winning and you learning shit. Like, be okay with wanting to win and not okay with wanting to lose. And I've even commented on a post like that and was like, why is it necessarily then wrong to like you can want to win but be okay with losing? Right. And he replied back to it and he goes, that doesn't make sense. I'm like, how? Like, it does though, man. Like, just because you want to win doesn't mean you should be okay with, like, or you shouldn't be like, or you should be pissed off about losing. I mean, that's like I love Iowa wrestling, but that's like the Iowa wrestling thing. It's all about grit, hard work. Yep. You just break your opponent, and when you lose, you're pissed off. Like, I don't think it needs to be like that. You don't have to be like that to be a great athlete. Now, if that's what you need to do to be a great champion on the competition scene, whatever.
That's their style.
Just know that, wait, why is this guy the most liked of the competitors? Probably because he doesn't give a fuck if he wins or loses. He's just trying to be better than what he was yesterday.
Sure.
And if you're truly treating yourself as your opponent, I mean, dude, it doesn't, like man, I've gone to the tournaments where, in my first year at black belt, I decided to do adult instead of do masters. Mm-hmm. Cause I was like, bro, I'm still in great shape. I know what I'm doing in the sport. Like, I'm going to go do adult. I did adult, Indiana, the Indy Open. So instead of doing to Chicago, I went to Indiana and did the Indy Open. And I got submitted my first match in a minute and a half out of a 10-minute match. And then my second match, I got submitted in a minute. So there was only 3 of us in our bracket. So I took automatic default third. So not only did I have to like lose both my matches, like kind of like humiliatingly, I have to go up there and not take this like participation medal. Yeah. So yeah. The medal, it looks right for my team. I didn't want to go take the medal, but like I wanted to look fair for my opponents. It's not their fault they whooped my ass. Right. They should respectfully have the third person in the photo because that's what I got. But I remember when I lost my second match, I gathered my stuff up, tears in my eyes. I'm 33 years old and there are tears in my eyes. And everyone's like, all my students were like, hey, it's okay. It's okay. And I was like, yeah, no, it's okay. And me and my cousin was like, hey, just let him be. He'll be okay.
Yeah, give me a minute.
I walked off, went to the side, literally put some tears out. They called those guys to the medal podium. I was right there, so I just quickly wiped my tears up, jumped on the podium with them. Of course, they shake each other's hands. They're like talking to each other. They shake my hand. They're like, hey, good man. And then they walk off together talking. So like I didn't even impress them enough to be in their conversation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To have that like bro moment.
On top of the fact that they probably knew you were having your moment.
But it still made me grow a lot. Like understand, like, okay, I'm not at this point of my career yet. This point has maybe passed me, But what was harder to grab was what I thought I was doing right for 6 months. Obviously was not right because I just got blown out of the fucking water. It's hard to swallow 6 months of work I put into it.
So much work.
And have to I got to like crumble it all up and start back from a plain piece of paper. Start from zero.
Hard to do.
And that was what was crushing of it. That was the expectations of what I thought I was doing right was a complete failure. So then I had to think about like, did I let my students down? Did I misguide them? Did I tell them things that wasn't really the way it should be? So a lot of reflection, man. Like a lot of reflection on that 6-hour drive back home from Indy, on like how I could just be a better instructor and a competitor. So like, I mean, dude, that was just 3 years or 2 years ago. So like, it's still there. The drive to want to be good. I want to win. But I was okay with losing. Yeah. It came at a cost, emotional, spiritually, but I picked myself back up. Hey, got to keep going. Class is on Monday. Someone has to teach it. And one of the biggest things that too makes it easy that is my students still love me. My friends still love me. My wife still loves me. Like nothing's going to change besides like, I got one more loss on my win-loss ratio. Like that's all that changed. And I mean, it goes back to that, like, it is just winning and learning. It doesn't, there's nothing in my life that changed that like, oh, now I just suck at jiu-jitsu. Like I always sucked at jiu-jitsu, but like, at least I'm trying.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, right. Like it's such a, and if no one's, for the audience, if you haven't been in that physical confrontation, in sport and, gone through, like, it's not like, this isn't a step aerobic. Practice isn't a step aerobics class. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like training is grueling, dude.
Yeah.
It's rough, right? And, when you don't get your arm raised at the end of it, it is not a good feeling.
Yeah, it hurts. It hurts.
It hurts a lot, dude.
It's like imagine going to work, putting all those hours, but you don't get the paycheck.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
That's exactly how it felt, man. Like,
Yeah.
like even when I was building my name up for trying to be, like, I knew I was going to be an instructor, and like everything I was doing was going to be like putting my Harvard degree on the wall.
Sure.
So when people come into the room, they knew, oh, he knows what he's talking about. Each loss came out of like that's going to hurt me as an item. People aren't going to value me as like this. Like it ruined my image of competing, and like it was hard to like let go of that. Like, hey man, how I do in competition is not going to affect how I run my business and how many people come in my door. Now, granted, I'm a world champion. Yeah, I might have more students than the guy who's not a world champion, but that shouldn't be the only reason why you're teaching jiu-jitsu.
1,000%.
Right,
so. Exactly. Yeah, man. It's, I swear, I think my son handles it like when my son loses, and I think I handle it worse than he does.
Right.
Like I feel it.
Because it's your kid. It hurt. Yeah.
And I remember what that feel like. It's a lifelong feeling. I don't care if you wrestled for 1 year or you did, BJJ for 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you'll never forget that feeling.
Yeah.
Whether it happened once or happened dozens of times or hundreds of times, right? Like, because obviously nobody goes undefeated. But when he loses, I'm like, oh, like I got to set the example.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I swear he handles it better than I do.
Yeah. No, it's good though. That's good. I don't know. I think it should like affect the people, because I've never felt more accomplished than my student who's like struggling to get a win, struggling to win a gold medal, struggling to do it, and then they finally get that win. I have a student who's signed up for competition, and he's still working for that first win in competition, and he hasn't competed in a couple years, but he's looking to get back into it, and he's climbing the ranks. So like winning in competition is not how you climb the rank. It's just something that helps us along the way. Mm-hmm. But like I tell my wife, I was like, I will straight 100% tell you, when that guy wins his first win in competition, I'm going to cry like a fucking baby.
That's badass.
Because I cannot wait to see him accomplish that goal of signing up for a tournament, and just losing, but just come back each time, and then finally, like, I know he'll grab it soon. And when he does, man, I mean, I'm telling you, like, I gotta like not think about it, because like I will start crying, because like I'm so proud of the guy.
Yeah,
I'm so proud of the guy, man. Like how far he's just come. Let alone like, I know when he wins that match, he's gonna be so happy of himself. But I'm gonna constantly remind him, like, yeah, this feels good, man. But the reason why I'm crying is not because of your match that you won. It's because how far you've come now. Mm-hmm. And that's what I love to see in my students. I love to see their hard work paying off, and like that's the greatest feeling as an instructor. So like for the instructors out there who are not doing it for that, you're just doing it because you didn't get to win a state title in baseball or whatever.
Yeah.
Like just get the fuck out of the sport, man.
Yeah.
You're gonna kill it for everybody. You should be there because you want to see these people succeed off the field, off the mat, whether it's gold medal or not. Yeah. I just want to see them succeed in life. That's all I want to see. So
amen, man. Yeah, like I said, Sauk Valley Jiu-Jitsu is a fantastic gym. I think you guys have an incredible product. All the instructors are like I can't say enough good things about it, and that's not because you're sitting across the table.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
It's you guys got a great thing going. Tell everyone where to find you, social media, website. Where can people find you for the audience that's listening?
So you guys can find us on Facebook. Just search Sauk Valley Jiu-Jitsu. You can search Instagram at Sauk Valley Jiu-Jitsu. You can email us at saukvalleyjiujitsu@hotmail.com. You can reach out to us on Google. My personal number is on there, 815-631-6739. You can text me, call me. I mean, man, I'll shoot the shit with jiu-jitsu all day long with you. Whatever is going to make you feel comfortable getting into the gym. You can reach out to me, phone call, FaceTime, email, whatever you have to do that makes you feel comfortable.
Check them out. Check them out. It's you won't regret it. Absolutely.
Thanks, man.
Thanks for
Appreciate it.
coming in, brother.
No, man,
I appreciate
it. This is fun, man. This is awesome. This is awesome.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Well, thank you very much for coming in. We'll do it again whenever you want.
Yeah,
All right?
man.
Open
For sure.
invitation.
For sure. Thank you, man.
Let's
Appreciate it.
Let's go get you fed.
Thank you, man. I
All right,
appreciate
bro.
it.
See you later, everybody. Stay mobile.